Winston-Salem Field Operations Department, and this segment of the briefing is regarding our roadways and what we're doing pre-event and then during the event should we get any inclement weather coming up. So basically, pre-event, what we're doing today is we are brining bridges and overpasses and steep slope areas around the city. That will be carried out throughout the day. Basically, our request to citizens traveling is to give that equipment a wide berth if you can, if you encounter it along the way. So we would appreciate that. And should we get that inclement weather during the event, when we shift to the active phase of that, we are going to have salt trucks out. We will treat slick areas as we see them, and we will have trucks in all quadrants of the city to address those things should they happen. So thank you very much.
All right, good morning. My name's August Vernon, August Vernon. I'm the director of the City and County Office of Emergency Management. Appreciate everyone being here today. We do know we have a short duration storm potentially going to impact the area, so we are doing some planning and preparedness, and we'd also want our community to do a little planning and preparedness. I think the first thing I want to make a comment about is misinformation around the weather, and encouraging your listeners and your watchers to go to trusted sources of information, because even this morning I had people send me some social media information that was inaccurate. And what's starting to happen with the weather, it also happens with tropical weather, is when forecasters are putting out their reports, the ones we receive from the National Weather Service and some other sources, they will do three scenarios: the most likely scenario, the best case scenario, and the worst case scenario. So what is happening is people are taking that worst case scenario, and that's what they're sharing and posting on social media. So again, with anything related to the news, we want you to go to trusted sources of information, including our city marketing communications and our partners in the media. The second part is just the general safety. When you're out traveling, especially tomorrow morning, it could be hazardous. Avoid the roads if you don't need to be out on the roads. You know, we do have a lot of accidents that can occur, so let's try to avoid that any way we can. And as always, we want people to be prepared for tropical weather, for winter weather, to always have those 3 days of supplies, have your medicine. If you have elderly adults, kids, pets that you're taking care of, livestock, just put those plans in place. And from the emergency management standpoint, there's two trusted sources of information you can go to. The first one is readyforsyth.org, and that is our website that has a wealth of information on preparedness. And the second one is ReadyNC, which is the State Division of Emergency Management's information on preparing for storms and other emergencies and crises. And I think that's really all we need to share on this event. Are we taking?
Yeah, we'll take questions.
All right, we're taking questions. Yes, ma'am.
What is something that you kind of hear after a storm like this? Like, I know last year we got some snow. What is something you hear after where you kind of go, we told you to get ready, we told you to prepare. What would you say is like the biggest thing?
Again, now it's turned into the misinformation, inaccurate information. We'd rather people have the most accurate information to make personal decisions, and we will point people towards our local media sources we work with. We use one of our primary sources is the National Weather Service, weather.gov, but I think it's transitioned a little bit to people not being prepared, to people having the wrong information now.
So even if this is a mild weather event, you talk about that worst case scenario. Even if it's the best case scenario, it's not really too big of a deal. Why should people take this seriously and prepare?
Well, I think the first way to answer that is it is the weather, and it can change on us. And I've personally dealt with, we don't think something's going to happen. We're always going to prepare for probably those worst case scenarios. So anytime there's any concerning weather, whether it's during winter or summer or whenever, we want people to take it serious so you are prepared, and we don't want to be caught unprepared. We want to keep the roads open. We want to keep people in school. We want to keep our businesses open, keep the community moving. So I'd rather we were prepared and nothing happened versus something happens and we were not prepared.
And from that emergency management perspective, we want to avoid as many accidents or issues as possible, right?
I will personally say last year during the winter weather, I was about run off the road a couple times because we had to be out on the road, and our responders and our, the folks doing the streets and the icing and de-icing, people need to slow down. Spacing and distances between vehicles. You do not exceed the speed limit when traffic conditions are even worse than normal. So I think a lot of it is just situational awareness and paying attention. Yes, ma'am.
Can you talk about, for the people who are in need of shelter, is that something that you're able to talk about right now for the people who might be stuck outside?
So what we always encourage is that we want people to go to friends, to family, to community groups first. Find other people to find shelter with if you need to. At this time, we're not really planning on opening any large type of shelters or anything like that. Obviously, depending on the size, scope, and scale of a winter weather event, or again a tropical weather hurricane, we'll make those decisions as that information comes in. Any questions for Keith?
You talked about, brining and being prepared for this type of event. Can you talk about, more specifically, where your trucks are being pulled out of, stationed, and things like that in case of this during
Absolutely. As far as station, we're operating here out of City Yard, and we'll continue to do so. And by the bridges, overpasses, critical care areas all through the city. So it's all quadrants of the city that will be treating those bridges, overpasses, steep slopes, and then obviously the critical areas that we need to. So.
And do you know, how many roads you're planning to treat, or how many trucks you have?
So to be clear, we won't be treating the entire road network. So majors, collectors, and residential roads will not be treated by brine. So that's 1,250 lane miles of road. So we're hitting those areas that are most susceptible for slick spots. So your bridges, your overpasses, your steep slopes. Those are the areas that we're going to be treating with that brine today. And then once we migrate into the storm, should it occur, that's where we'll be using salt on those areas that are slick. So that's how we'll triage that as we move forward. Yes, ma'am. Those are the amount of roads that we have. We have in the city of Winston-Salem, the city owns, operates, and maintains 1,250 lane miles of roads. We obviously can't treat all that road network with brine, so we will get the critical spots, those bridges, overpasses, the areas that are most susceptible to be slick. So.
Just for reviewers, I know we talk about this every single year, but why is it important to treat those areas?
So, because those, obviously with the cold air under the bridge, it's more susceptible to freezing. Those are your critical zones. They're right there because it's exposed to that cool air underneath the bridge or the overpass. All right. Yep.
Great. Thank you all for coming today. One caveat is the Winston-Salem TV13 team came and shot some B-roll of the trucks and the exercise that we had earlier in the week. So we will be sharing that with you so that you will have some extra B-roll to share. Okay? Great. If you have any questions, just please contact me and I'll put you in contact with our staff. But thank you for coming out. Be safe, everyone.